It is August 8th, 2017. This is the Watchman News, and I'm Mike Callahan. More banter today, as we've been seeing go on between especially North Korea and the United States. So I've been hearing some different stuff. Haven't had a chance to look deep into much of it. Apparently, U.S. intelligence says that North Korea is preparing mini nukes to put on these ballistic missiles. Apparently, some threats were made or whatnot, and Trump, being the big dumb puppy, had said that the threats stop, or North Korea will be met with a fire the world's never seen before. That is something that we should not take lightly at all. I don't think this is just the typical political bantering back and forth. I really don't think so. Reason being is, for one, when they selected Trump to be in office, it was for a reason, okay? And I think a large part of that reason was because they could get him to pull the switch, so to speak, push the button. Just my thoughts on it. You all should know by now I don't fly a Republican flag. I don't fly a Democratic flag. I think if I were to do that, I wouldn't be able to clearly see what's going on. So it's important to me that I remain neutral politically, especially when it comes to mobs or gangs, right? I don't see much of a difference myself. So, more to the report, this is North Korea's response to Trump's statement. This coming from Sputnik, link will be in the description. North Korea considering targeting Guam with enveloping fire. North Korea's strategic force is carefully examining the operational plan for making an enveloping fire at the areas around Guam with the Hwasong-12 ballistic rockets, a military spokesman told state-run media outlet KCNA, following saber-rattling earlier in the day from U.S. President Donald Trump. The plan would contain major U.S. military bases on the island, including Andersen Air Force Base, the spokesman said, where B-1 strategic bombers go to refuel after flying missions over South Korea. The strategic bombers get on the nerves of the DPRK and threaten and blackmail it through their frequent visits to the sky above South Korea, the statement said. Earlier in the day, Trump thundered that it was best for Pyongyang not to make any more threats to the U.S., seeing that any escalation of such threats would be met with the fires and fury and frankly power the likes of which this world has never seen before. North Korea appears to have demonstrated an intermediate-range ballistic missile that might enable them to reliably strike the U.S. base at Guam, rocket specialist John Schilling of 38 North wrote in May. The plan is soon to be reported to the Supreme Command, North Korea's strategic force noted in a statement, after contemplation by Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, kind of hard to say. The plan will be put into practice in a multi-concurrent and consecutive way any moment once Kim makes a decision. Sorry, I'm breaking it up a little bit there. On Saturday, the United Nations Security Council, I can't even speak, unanimously passed the toughest economic sanctions to date against North Korea, intended to slash $1 billion from the isolated nation's roughly $3 billion in export revenue. In response, North Korea pledged to take decisive steps, including physical actions. Korean People's Army officer Sin Kwang-jin told KCNA, the U.S. is getting more impatient for the DPRK's nuclear deterrent, but it cannot be construed otherwise than its recognition of the victory won by the DPRK, adding that it's erroneous for the U.S. to think that sanction is almighty. Our nuclear weapons of justice will mercilessly hammer the nuclear of tyranny, Sin said. Not sure if I understand that statement, but okay. North Korea tested 2 ballistic missiles last month, believed by many to be intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of reaching the U.S. mainland. The country has also continued testing nuclear weapons despite international sanctions. On Tuesday, it was revealed that both U.S. and Japanese intelligence agencies believe Pyongyang has achieved its goal of developing nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missiles. So there you go. The back and forth. And I don't think this is the same old back and forth that we've seen for decades. I think this is a totally different level. I think you have 2 idiots in office that are dumb enough to push the button. That's just the way I see it. Something to keep an eye on, as I've been saying all along with this stuff with North Korea. Something to definitely keep an eye on.